Welcome to Champ Talk with Branden Hudson. We're back in the building, ready to go. Guys, if you get value from this episode or you know somebody that will, please like and subscribe or share this episode with somebody that you think that could, gain a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of insight. You know what I'm saying? You never know, just something to help, right? And also, big favorite, leave us a review, all right? Don't just tell me how great I am and how awesome Chet is or how bad we are either. I mean, we don't mind, but look, tell us about how this episode impacted you, what you thought, anything. Just give me the skinny and let me know. So without further ado, Mr. Chet, welcome back, brother.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm peachy.
Peachy?
Yeah. Peachy, actually kind of more watermelon-y and blueberry than peachy. But yeah.
Well, okay. Well,
it's summertime. It's like,
let's go with it. A little bit of cantaloupe up in there?
Not yet.
No?
Not yet, man. Like ice cold watermelon because it's been so ridiculously hot and nasty. Frozen blueberries. It's like candy.
Yeah.
But it's pretty good for you.
Okay.
Frozen blueberries.
All right.
And some watermelon.
Great.
Yeah. Little summertime tip for you.
Yeah. I mean, hey. There you have it. Champ Talk from Chet right now, just dropping some knowledge for us. Okay. Frozen watermelon and frozen blueberries.
Yeah, so that's about it for this episode, right?
All right. We're all done here, guys. I got to preface this right now. Folks, I am off my game today. I am officially 5 days off of coffee. Or not just off of pre-workout, energy jokes, anything that stimulates the system.
You're not just decaffeinated, you are uncaffeinated.
Oh, bro, I am and look, I've been good all weekend. Like, it's, if you guys are watching this is July 7th. We just had the 4th of July this past weekend. Great weekend, very good weekend. We had a good time. It was a beautiful weekend. And
fireworks and fuckery.
All of it. Yeah, shout out to Ocean City. But yeah, man, we had
there's a great video about anyway. Okay.
Yeah, okay. So damn, you fucking made me lose my train of thought, man.
Get him some caffeine quick.
We ping pong here, Chet. I volley it to you, you volley it back, okay? I stopped the interrupting from all those years ago.
Here's a coffee now.
Yeah. But no, anyway, I've been on coffee for fucking 4 days, 5 days, man. I've been addicted to coffee for over 10 years now. So it's getting to me a little bit today. I'm off my game a little bit, but I think we'll be able to pull through. Yeah, that was some stuff in Ocean City this weekend, wasn't it?
It was dumb. It was stupid.
I tell you what, man, I love Ocean City. I do. I love Salisbury. You know what I mean? I love the Eastern Shore. I'm not a big fan of Maryland with, how bad it is for business owners and taxes and all that good stuff. But overall, I love Maryland. But man, it's so funny how people from Ocean City, when you talk to some of them, not all of them, they kind of talk down upon Salisbury. They talk down upon Salisbury and us folks down here. And I get it.
You mean people from Ocean City?
From Ocean City.
That are quote from Ocean City.
That are quote from Ocean City.
What's funny is most of the people I've ever met from Ocean City
are not from Ocean City. I know. But they'll try to talk down. I remember specifically people saying how much trash we are and things like that. Well, Ocean City, you're not doing much better right now. You're not doing much better. Ocean City is a beautiful area. It's a beautiful beach. It's always been, I always prefer that over the Delaware beaches just because I'm from Salisbury. I'm not a big Assateague person just because I don't like
I am like, give me Assateague and Shinkateague all day. When do I ever go?
Yeah, because we're going to get to that in a minute too. Because I saw the story that the world news or the national news did on Assateague, you know what I mean? And I did misspoke on that. I commented on that post, you know what I mean? I saw you went against me on it too, you know what I mean? Which I don't even know if we're friends anymore, you motherfucker.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I saw your comment.
Comment.
You saw my comment, I saw your comment. You know what I mean? This is an internet beef in real life right now. I said something about the beaches. They made this story about Assateague Island. If you guys don't know, Assateague Island is like.
So wait, you're going to shit on Ocean City?
Can I get to the fucking message first? Jesus Lord!
What direction we're going in?
Listen, I'm on coffee right now. Off coffee right now. Anybody can get it. I'll beat the game up today. You know what I mean? Like I ain't playing today. But yes, we're gonna bounce from Ocean City to 20 minutes over to Assateague, and then we're gonna do the weave and bring it right back to Ocean City. You know what I mean? After we settle our beef, right? Okay. But I did misspoke on this.
I didn't know we had a beef, but let's go.
You done? You want to go?
I'm just starting.
You want to finish the conversation?
Probably can, but go ahead.
So the national CBS News did a story on Assateague Island. and they made it a political thing about how they don't have enough lifeguards, right? And I did say that, and I made a comment. And I am not going to lie. I had a couple drinks in me when I made the comment. I usually never comment on these things.
I knew it.
But I thought the story was misleading. So you did see my
You probably
comment.
thought you were in your personal account, didn't you?
So you did see, no,
Yeah,
I
did.
knew it would
see,
account.
I see everything.
Yeah, okay. So now you acted dumb in front of me and in front of our viewers.
see
We got
everything.
millions of viewers listening right now on you playing me right now, dog. You're playing me, dog. But anyway, we'll
Just
get
wanna
to you in a
just wanna
minute.
make you say it.
We'll get to you in a minute. So I did, and I'm owning my shit. I did speak up, misspoke, and I did say that I've never seen lifeguards out there, that I've never known there to be lifeguards out there. There's never been lifeguards out there when I've been out there. And I've never seen them, never known them. And as a matter of fact, most people that go don't want to go for the lifeguards that I know.
Mm-hmm.
But they turned it into this political thing where it's like, oh, well, it's the Doge and the all this, the money that's not being going. People don't even go to Assateague for the lifeguards. They go for the exclusivity of not having the traffic and the hecticness of Ocean City. And you went on and commented, you're like, I don't even know where all these people get this information because I've seen lifeguards out there all the time. My question to you is, motherfucker, when do you go? I don't never hear you go to the beach.
First, if you're going to quote me, make sure you use the correct quote.
No, I'm not going to use a correct quote. I'm going to just what's the word? Summarize it.
Okay.
Yeah.
There have been lifeguards there since going back to the
80s.
early and mid 80s.
Yeah, I saw you say that.
And they've been all the way there through last year when I was down there. Now, do they have a lot of lifeguards? No, they don't.
Right.
They've never had a lot of lifeguards.
Right.
In fact, that's where we would always try to go, was where there was no lifeguards.
Correct. And I misspoke on that. I said I misspoke on that.
Yeah.
Right? But do you ever go to the beach? You don't ever go to the beach.
Used to live at the beach.
When do you ever go to the beach? When you used to live in the 80s?
80s, 90s.
And since 2020,
Uh-huh.
since we've been in the 20s, the roaring 20s.
Oh, a handful of times.
When
yeah.
have you been to the beach?
A handful of times.
When? Tell me the last time. It ain't been the last 2 summers. I know that.
Yeah, actually it was.
When? Where? Tell me this date. Tell me with who.
I don't remember the fucking day.
Fucking full of shit.
Are you kidding me?
You're full of shit. You're playing me again. You don't even go to the beach.
No. Yeah, I don't go to the beach like I used to.
Anyway.
I don't surf anymore.
Anyway, that story was definitely misleading. Definitely misleading. Because they made it out to be like, oh my gosh, millions of people go to Assateague. Yeah, the entire summer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like not millions of people like Ocean City, where it's like a million people in a weekend, millions of people in the entire summer. So anyway, we're getting off beat, but I had to bring that up just so you know. I knew I misspoke. I thought there was never been lifeguards out there.
There's always been lifeguards.
Well,
That's all I said was
in the
I'm not sure
80s.
where people were getting the information. No, it's been recent too. I didn't stop going to the beach in the 80s.
I ain't never heard Chet go to the beach since he's been working with me for the past how long? 8 years, 7 years? Ever. But he want to jump on the political content. You know,
I
what
don't
mean?
even see how that was political.
Well, they try to blame Doge for the
Well,
the
but
funding.
it's true. They stripped the funding. That's why they couldn't hire the lifeguards. Is
that a national issue or is that a state issue?
That's a national issue.
National issue.
Yeah, it was federal
Okay.
budget cuts because it was from the federal.
So do you think that there was probably
The federal side.
So you don't think there's not a chance of misappropriated funds throughout the national side of parks and all that other stuff? You don't think there's a chance?
Oh, there's always a chance.
Okay.
A chance of everything.
Okay.
Misappropriated funds.
Yeah. People using funds they shouldn't be using.
Yeah.
People don't, I'm not saying they are. I'm just saying you don't think there's a chance.
Of course there's a
You don't think
chance.
there's a chance of wasted spending?
A chance of it. There's
Probably wasted spending for lifeguards and Assateague. 100% wasted spending. 100%.
until it's your kid that drowns, and then it's not.
Don't take your kid to Assateague.
So
I mean,
I don't understand. I don't know how it was misleading because it was.
Well,
pretty,
I think they turned
it's
it
pretty factual.
Well, no, they actually made it seem like all kinds of people go to Oceans or Assateague, and it's like this crazy populated beach. It's not. None of that is. When I go to Assateague, which I do frequent quite often, I do go with me. We go and pull up, and I'm not a big fan of it because bugs out there will literally pick you up and kidnap your kid. You got to worry about the bugs kidnapping your kid more than anything else, or getting attacked by a horse. You know what I mean? A pony out there. It's just, it seemed like they had to spin it to be a misleading thing, a political thing. And it's like, come on, guys. Like, that's not really what goes down in Assateague. People don't go to Assateague looking for the lifeguards. Most people don't. And if you do, then I don't know, maybe write your congressman. I don't know. You know what I mean? I just thought that was a bit misleading being a resident, especially when that I go to Ocean City and you see Ocean City lifeguard every however often. Yeah. So, I mean, that makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
Most people that I know go to Assateague for the exclusivity to be able to do what they want and party and hang out.
But if you've been going there for years and you expect at least 2 lifeguards there and then there's no lifeguards there, that could change your decision.
I'm sure it could.
And you have every opportunity to leave.
100%.
But if it's what you've been used to, then it's that kind of sucks. Like, hey, we really like Assateague, but now we don't feel quite as safe because there's not a lifeguard on duty. Like I said, it only takes one. Not a big deal usually, but let your kid get caught in a rip current.
I mean, obviously nobody wants that, and obviously that's a issue that could be addressed. At the same time, I've always grown up the same way. Look, you swim at your own risk. If you don't know how to swim, then you shouldn't have your kids in the water, in the ocean.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? If you don't know how to swim, you should be going to the beach.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Taking your kids in the water if you can't save your kids.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've always been the type of person that, hey, and even if you can swim, doesn't mean you can beat the beach. The ocean is undefeated. I mean, it's just a powerful thing.
All that's a given. But
at the end of the day, to say it's like this politicized thing, why don't you just say, hey, we need more funding. How can we make this happen? It's always spun some political way.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think it was spun. It was very factual. That the facts are federal budgets were cut. That was one of the things that was cut, and they couldn't afford to hire lifeguards, so there's no lifeguards. I don't think there's any spin.
Yeah, well, why did it make it national news then? What was the purpose of you've been to radio before? Or you've been to TV radio? What was the purpose of making it national news?
I don't understand that. There's hundreds of stories that come out every day, so why wouldn't it be national news?
Why did it bring up Doge? That's not a political thing? That's not a political subject?
If you want it to be, or is it factual?
Wanted it to be,
or is it factual? No, I'm saying for you. If you want it to be,
no,
because
I think that
you don't
it's factual,
like that they picked on Doge or something for some reason.
I don't know. It's not that.
But what I'm saying is the fact is fact. Like,
you're saying two different problems. That's my thing. Is you're saying we need lifeguards in Assateague, and then you're bringing up, you know what I mean? Specifically Doge. They could have said they could have said anything. Federal funding was cut. Mm-hmm. But they specifically say that because that's what the media does. The media does that so that it gets people outraged, and then all the comments went up and down. And I baited into it too because I was on the toilet.
You bought into it.
Well, I'm a resident. It's bullshit. You know what I mean? And I was wrong, and I admitted that too. You know what I mean? One of the ladies was, I'm the daughter of such and such. You know what I mean? What are you, from Salisbury? I'm like, first of all, back to my original point. You motherfuckers ain't no better. Look at what happened in Ocean City. Look at the trash that happens in Ocean City. They couldn't even handle what happened in Ocean City. And it happens every year.
Those people weren't from Ocean City,
but it doesn't matter. It happens every single season. You know what I mean? And it's only getting worse. And it's a shame because Ocean City is a beautiful place. But you know what I mean? I remember you would get fucking locked up for jaywalking by the seasonal cops down there. Now all of a sudden, and I'm not saying that I have the answer. I'm just saying, like, what's going on? That's my thing is what's going on. Don't be from Ocean City trying to tell me that we're trash when y'all got the same shit going on and you ain't up but our distant cousin that our surfing cousin that lives down the beach. I don't want to hear it, but anyway.
Yeah, that was some apparently it was wasn't it like a TikTok challenge, one of those stupid TikTok challenge things where it was like it was like semi-organized. Like everybody show up. That was the story. Like, hey, everybody show up at this place, and then there was fireworks, and it turned into there were gunshots on this street, and people were running like if a group of people just start running,
bro,
that's gonna scare the shit out of everybody.
Bro.
Like, everybody's running.
Come
what
on,
are we
man.
running from? I don't know.
Let's be honest. We all saw the video. It sounded like a white lady, okay? In typical white people fashion, you see a group of people running. Instead of getting up and running, you'd be like, what's going on? What's happening? What are they running for? Tell me what's going on. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude. Look, you were the one. That
it was all spread out too. It was like different. I don't know. I don't know what was happening.
Well, I hope Ocean City gets it together because it's it's a shame. One of our students was there. He saw the guy throw the mortar on the boardwalk and then caught somebody else's shoes on fire. something like that.
Idiots,
I mean, he saw the guy. He saw it happen. He's right there, you know. And then you know, here's my thing is like, what happens when, you know what I mean? And this is another thing where the media spins shit. What happens when you're driving with your kid in your van or your vehicle, and a mob of people start running up on you at the stoplights, dancing and jumping on your car? What happens then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what happens when you do it to an undercover cop, or excuse me, an off-duty cop who's got their weapon with them? They're not playing. Oh, but who goes to jail? I mean, I'm not sitting here taking any chances with my family in the car and mobs of people coming up on my car. I'm not taking any chances. Like, I'm getting out of there.
Yep.
Right. So if something happens, that's on them. But again, it'll be spun into a whole different, oh man, this guy hurt this poor little kid who was just innocently jumping on his car and throwing fireworks and all. It's just, it's nuts, man. But yeah, Ocean City's got a little bit of a dilemma, because we keep seeing the same trend where, you know, you're having mobs of people come down.
Well, unfortunately, it's not just Ocean City. It's like, I mean, Virginia Beach, Jersey Shore. I mean, like so many incidents, Florida, Texas towns where.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about those towns. I'm talking about where we live. Where we live is, you know, that
I'm just saying it's not exclusive.
They literally lock you up down there for a fucking jaywalking. Like, they're literally lock you up for anything down there, and it's been like that forever.
Oh yeah.
And then now all of a sudden, you know, you have mobs of people that keep coming. I'm not saying they're not doing a great job. I'm just saying they've got a problem on their hands, and they got to fix it. Because when I went down there Thursday, the day before 4th of July, it was like a ghost town. And when I was coming back from the beach the Sunday before, like I know, every week they come in on Sunday, they leave on Sunday, right? That's kind of like how it's priced out. Well, 4th of July weekend coming up, and literally when you crossed over the 50 bridge, when you took that right to get onto the 50 bridge, not cross over, right when you began, you could literally see the last car in line at like 5 o'clock, which was insane. It's never been like that. It's always lines and lines of cars down there. It was not a problem to get in on 4th of July. It wasn't a problem to get in on the 3rd. I mean, you're starting to see a big sign of the times on, you know, what that kind of behavior and that kind of problem is alluding to, you know, what Ocean City's, you know, the family fun or the partying. I mean, if you want to party, I mean, all power to you. But you're starting to see how that's really taking its toll or taking its hit on however it's managed and not managed, and, you know, done and not done. I don't know. I don't have the answers. I just know that there's a big problem and everybody can see it. And, you know, when you have this stuff repeating every summer, or, you know, now you're having more and more gunshots in, you know, a place that you wouldn't even have a gun in there. Don't sit here and try to tell me you're better than Salisbury. We got our problems, but shit, you know what I mean? Like, it sounds like you guys got your hands full as well.
But only for a couple months out of the year, right? So
yeah, well, it's just a shame because, man, I love Ocean City. Assateague's nice. I've never been a big fan. It's just I like to see people. I'm a people's person. I like to see people.
See, that's the difference for me. It's like, because I pretty much grew up for a big chunk of my life. It was like basically living in Ocean City or going back and forth, you know, daily basis, whatever it was, staying there for extended periods of time. So I kind of got burnt out on it. But like, if I wanted to go to the beach, that's where I go to, like Shinkateague or Assateague. And fucking Shinkateague's a cool little town.
Yep.
And there's whatever you want, you know, whatever you need to buy, whatever you want to eat, it's right there. And you don't have to put up with the massive crowds and stuff. It's very rare that there's anything I want to go to OC for anymore. It's just the way. But again, it's like living 5 miles from Disney World or something. You know what I mean? Hey, we could go every day if we wanted to go to Disney World. But yeah, how much fun is that after a while? And then you talk about just like the bullshit that's there, and, you know, stuff that's, you know, way overpriced for what it is, and traffic and all that. Although it sounds like not a huge problem right now, because it seems like they're getting the crowds that they used to. But yeah, I said for the beach, to go to the beach, give me Assateague, Shinkateague all day long.
I've never been to Shinkateague in Virginia. I think I've always wanted to go down there. It's a cool little area. I've kind of went through, not really stopped and been on the beach, not really went down there and eaten. I've just kind of been through it and looked around and stuff, mostly off season. So that's somewhere what I've been meaning to really venture off into. And dude, we've been enjoying the Delaware beaches lately. More so like Rehoboth, where like there's still stuff around and things. Dewey, you know what I mean? Those places are fun. The like the dry Delaware beaches, like, you know what I mean? Dry, like people wise, like Assateague, seemingly similar beach is just not my thing. Like I said, I want to be around people, places, things. I want to see it all. I've always loved that. That's just who I am. But it's just a shame to see where, you know, and again, I mean, everybody's got their own problems. I get that. It's the way that the people just talk. You know, some of the people that the locals, you know, they'll just be like, "Oh yeah, you're trash, you're Salisbury." They look at you, you know what I mean? And I'm like,
it's always been kind of a weird relationship too. Like you said, something like you're like whatever, like cousins basically. Because even like the music stuff, like, you know, the Eastern Shore, like population wise, is enough to just be its own scene. But you still have these little pockets like Delaware and stuff. But Ocean City and Salisbury, and just it made me think of this. Like as long as I can remember, it was like everybody was always welcome in Salisbury or Ocean City, but everybody from Salisbury would you know, flock to OC for bands playing, whether it was somebody from Salisbury, whoever it was, right? But to get people to come from Ocean City to Salisbury, like they would never do it. It was weird. It's just weird.
Well, I mean, again, Salisbury's got its own problems, you know what I mean? And you know, we can go about that all day long. I mean, it's one of those things where I don't know. I don't know. I have a couple theories in mind on that could really help out, but you know, I'm not in the committee. I'm not in the town hall. I'm not one of those people that will bark about what they need to do and stuff like that. I focus on what I can do on my platforms and in my businesses and keep moving. You know, it's just there's some clear cut solutions that you can go about it to fix the nightlife and some of the crime and some of the things. I mean, it's very clear, you know what I mean? But, you know, again, I'm not a politician, so I'm not going to go down that route. Let's break this up. By the way, this episode is brought to you by SBY MMA and Fitness, your home of Eastern Shore Combat Sports. Come check us out. We've got 10,000 square foot facility. We've got all of our coaches are certified personal trainers, insured and CPR certified, and it's just it's a great place to come and find your way. You know what I mean? We've got a little bit of everything for everybody. We're located even if you're from Ocean City, we're located inside of Pure Fitness, which is you know, beautiful facility. So, you know, there's not anything that you can't find here that you want to do. So come check us out, and big shout out to SBY MMA and Fitness. But speaking of gym stuff, man, it's that time of year where people are quitting.
Summertime. Welcome to the summertime.
People are quitting. People are wanting to get out of their memberships, and you know, the new car smell wears off, and
it's like you can almost set your clock to it.
Yeah, 100%. Now we've been very fortunate. We've had a record-breaking summer so far. We broke records in May. We had like 35 signups in 31 days, and even with that being said, we had a 4-day weekend that we weren't staffed, and then we had a couple, you know, usually we're lightly staffed on the weekend. So to really get us and sign up with us right now, you know, you have to be here, you know, within staffing hours and so forth, you know, which is like class time. So, you know, really I would say we did 35 signups probably in about 24 days, which is a remarkable May. Now we had a slow April, you know what I mean? Which was, I mean, we still did, we hit around 14 signups, which that's pretty slow for us. And June, we capped out at 25, 24, I don't remember.
Something like that. It was pretty close.
Pretty close. So our goal is to hit one a day, you know what I mean? Because of the attrition rate of people, you know, not paying or quitting or getting hurt or moving or whatever have you. And we're in a college town. So that's another thing that we're in a college town, and we're smack dab in the center of a peninsula, which, again, talking about Ocean City, we're next to a resort town. So for us, this is the slow season. Once May hits, you know, everybody's either, so when April hits, you have all of the college kids that are here for the semesters or graduating. They're ready to go at the end of May. You have baseball starts, and this is a big baseball, softball area. So you have a lot of people playing travel baseball and, you know, baseball. You have, you know, vacationers, people that are vacationing, you know, everybody's schedule changes when the summer starts. So really, technically, this is our slow season. So for us to really be picking up traction like we are, I mean, is speaking volumes of our standard operating procedures.
It's interesting too, the people that we get that are transplants for work, and and they're here for different periods of time. We get people that literally are in for a couple weeks, a couple months, whatever it is, and some it's indefinite. They don't know. Yeah. That's always interesting to me too, where they find us and they're from from out of the area. I mean, I don't mean like from Baltimore or DC or Philly. They're from Texas and Iowa and everywhere. So it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. So we have but yeah, this is our slow season. This is the time of year where it's just like not necessarily like New Year's or September, things like that. Those are some good times for us because we're getting a whole bunch of shot in the arms from, New Year's resolution people, college people, people that are going back, getting their schedule back intact. So, but yeah, so now it's the kind of time where people start, wanting to cancel their memberships or not showing up and things like that. And, what do you think are some key factors that's working for us to get people to be able to continue to show up and stick with it? And, when that new car smell wears off, come back in, keep going and stuff like that. What's been working?
I think one of the biggest things is having that conversation about how it is a long-term commitment. And if they want any kind of results, so whether it's the conditioning classes or, somebody who's just getting into jiu-jitsu, or maybe it's even somebody who's trained before and they've moved here, but just, keeping things interesting, keeping the communication open, not falling into, just going through the motions, which, we talk about all the time, has everything to do with the culture. And just make them feel appreciated and want like you want them to be here, not just like, hey, thanks for your membership. But really keeping them engaged. And I think that's the biggest thing is having that conversation too. Like, I know it's easy to take your foot off the gas now, but summertime, good time. Like if classes are smaller, which, we know they do tend to get smaller, you've got some more one-on-one attention. So there's a lot of things.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that for me, one thing that's worked for me is on top of that is I'm a stickler for wishing people happy birthday on Facebook. I think that's like a hack in itself. Excuse me. Just saying, hey man, look, happy birthday. Acknowledging. Now, if I know you, I'm going to call you, or if I got your phone number, I'm going to text you. But you'd be surprised on what that does for people. And then to take that a step further, me not seeing people, I know who's here and who's not here. You know what I mean? You make a joke all the time. I see everything that goes on, even when people don't think I see it. And it's one of those things where just calling somebody, hey man, I ain't seen you in class. What's going on? Everything good? You know what I mean? What can I do to help? How can I be here? I think that's good for gym owners and instructors and management to sit there and, just reach out, because sometimes they just need a little reminder. I know when somebody reaches out to me and asks me to do something, that's one of those moments where like, oh shit, coach saw me. You know what I mean? I got to get out, I got to stop bullshitting. Some people, it makes them feel seen. It makes them feel good. You know what I mean? To be able to have that ability to, hey, look, we miss you in class. We want to see you. And I do that all the time when I see them. Like, cause of course people go to the gym downstairs.
Right.
So they're not always, they're not always MIA completely. They're just MIA up here. But when I see them, I always say, where the fuck have you been?
That's funny you say it too, because there's a couple people that like I had in mind, coming here today. It's like, I want to take a look at the accounts and stuff. And I need to give them a call because I haven't seen them in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But I've, with social media, it's like, okay, I know they're doing stuff. But I mean, if I know they're on vacation or something, then that's pretty obvious. I'm not going to mess with you when you come back. But it's like, you're not here for 2 weeks and you just did a tournament or something. Like, where are you? Everything good? So
yeah, and it's critical. And even with Facebook, like we have a private Facebook group for all of our members. You know what I mean? It's kind of where we do our updates and things like that. We have a couple of them. We have one on Instagram, one on Facebook. But just keeping content constantly going in that members group. If you've got a private group on social media, or Facebook rather, they can be very difficult to get active. You know what I mean? Like, they're very difficult to get. What you want ideally is whenever you have a private group, you want the private group to talk amongst themselves, post content amongst themselves. That's the goal. You know what I mean? But in order to get to that point, and we're way, we're not there at all, in my opinion. In order to get to that point, somebody has to lead the charge. You know what I mean? You have to have people in there engaging in that group all the time, talking in that group. It's just like a private chat. If you've got a private chat and like nobody's talking, nobody's going to talk and engage when somebody does, right? So that's been a big hack for us as well, is keeping that thing going. And just the content, man, like posting so much. People don't, this is the whole reason why I did Champ Talk is, let's just get some content. Let's just have another way to talk to the people. And, instead of trying to write out all of our stuff, which I do on Facebook and things like that, have a long form conversation where you can discuss matters and talk shit and be wrong, be right, argue like we do and things like that. You know what I mean? And just be able to just express ourselves through long form conversation, that you don't get anything kind of mixed up and skewed along the way. You're hearing the whole context of the conversation, the whole context of the topic, but that gives us an opportunity to give more content and be able to connect with our people. Gym owners, listen, you guys have a great knack for what you do. That's why you are the owner of the gym. And or even if you're not the owner of a gym, if you're just an instructor or a coach, there's a reason why you're the coach and the instructor. And you hear all the time people say, well, I'm not, into social media. In today's world, I think that's a cop-out. I think you have to step into that space to some degree to deliver the know, like, and trust factor for people to get to know you. And I think that it's, there's gym owners right now that are really good at what they do, right? Really good at what they do. And they sound like assholes when they post their content. Not their videos, not when they talk. I'm talking about when they go on and they write their shit. You know what I mean? They, their opinionated words that they have to express on Facebook. It comes off to some people very arrogant, very, you don't really know how to read a room. You're very dense in your thinking. When I know for a fact that those same people, like them or hate them, they're very good coaches. Yeah. They're really good communicators on the mats and good communicators in the gyms and when they're talking to their clients. But when they do this shit on Facebook, they sound like fucking assholes, right? It's
true. I mean, it's just like, the classic example of, a world-class surgeon with no bedside manner.
Correct.
Yes, yes. It's the same kind of thing.
And you're going to die. You know what I mean?
Where you go? What? Yeah. Okay.
Hey, I'm a gyno. Let me see your vagina, right?
It's 100%. It's almost that harsh and, some of it's downright, hateful and disrespectful sometimes that you see, but it's but you're 100% because that's like anything. I mean, you can be a great mechanic, but you don't know shit about the business end. So that's why that fails. You be a great coach or instructor, but if you don't have, the proper social skills.
Yeah. No, especially in today's world where everybody's so fucking awkward, you know what I mean? And people lack them. And then you have people that are on the spectrum who are so literal, you know what I mean? You don't necessarily know if they're being, coming across strong or it's just their personality. And I think, and I believe, and it's been working really well for us, that you just got to put yourself out there. You've got to, like, I don't understand how a combat sports coach can, you know what I mean? Or a gym. It's more so that the gym owners, they're the ones that are more so the ones that I think have to take the bigger risk. The coach can go and he can piggyback off or she can piggyback off of the club and they could just do their job, right? Coach P is a prime example. The coach people don't have a single thing on social media. I'm like, man, if you had social media, we'd be rich. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. Like just his personality, the way he runs class, like all of it, the conversations, the care that he has for people and people come to us at the front desk and throughout and comment on them too. And it's just like, yeah, you're right. If he tapped into that, it's like, but it's not for everybody.
And that's his choice, but he can work a hell of a room. But my point is, that's the example of where, the people would love to see just a glimpse of that side of him on social media or somewhere where they could say.
And I think we've seen like examples of that too with, you can, pick like an MMA gym somewhere. Just random example, but the person that's pumping out a lot of the content might be a senior instructor or something. And their content's amazing and their tutorials are great. And they're not like the main person. It's not, they're not the gym owner, the main person. They're one of the instructors and they kill it like that. But,
yeah. I mean, that's, it's just what I just think that in order to continue to get more people in your doors, And in order to retain more people from quitting, you know, you putting yourself out there and showing people a glimpse of who you are and what they can get inside of the gym when they do visit, I think it goes really far for your business and for your class sizes, you know. And, you know, again, I think there's also this weird dynamic where people, you know, they just won't be honest about their business or their journey. Like, you know, I just think it's something you just have to be honest with eventually. Like, hey, look, I love the arts. I love what I do. But at the same time, like, I'm here to be compensated, you know, for what I do. And, or at the very least, I'm not trying to rob Peter to pay Paul to keep the lights on so that all my friends can train. You know, look, we have to make this a successful business. We have to make this a legitimate business. You know, for me, my vision is way bigger than any of that. You know what I mean? My vision is to, you know, completely be in the homes of everybody. Like, I want everybody's homes to have their kids or family, whoever, to experience combat sports. What it does for the psyche, what it does for the mind, for the confidence, for the health, just all of the above, man. I could go on and on about the benefits, the health benefits and the mental health benefits of it. But at the end of the day, in order for me to get to that point, you know, you have to have money and you have to have success to be able to leverage that, to be able to be in the places that you want to be. You have to have a business model where you have people that are, you know, stepping into business mindset plus coaching mindset. And when you have people that are ready to quit, or people that you don't see in a while, you know, just taking their money and just letting them walk off into the sunset, you know, after they bought the gi and the gloves and the package and all that stuff, you know, I just think that there's more that we can do in regards to obtaining that member. And I think that it takes the proactivity of the coaches, of the class. You know, we push that on our class too. Look, I'm like, hey man, look, the most important person in this room is your training partner.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So like, I can be the great coach and the great instructor and a gym owner, and I can be all that, right? You can have the, you know, the black belts or the brown belts or the champions over here, you know, setting the precedence of, you know, the standard. But if you find a good training partner, a solid training partner, hold on to them and utilize them as much as you can. You know what I mean?
I've seen a lot of that lately, where I come in and someone says, "Hey, have you seen so and so?" Yeah, they're like, no, like, man, they told me last night, or I talked to them this morning, and they said they were going to be here at, you know, this time, and they're waiting for them, they're looking for them. So that's cool. Like, you know, outside of here, they're communicating, trying to link up so that they can train together, keep that.
Yeah, you got to push that envelope. Cool. As leaders, we have to push that envelope.
And I even see it with the kids, but like the adults kind of expect it, but the kids, it's really cool. Like, you know, so and so.
Yeah, I like that part too.
Like 12 years old, and they're mad because Johnny didn't show up today. He told me he was going to be here today. All right, well, you're here, so you know, make sure you let them know you were here. Yeah,
I love that part as well. Yeah, it's something that, you know, we have to push that from the leadership down. You have to tell them, look, you know, your training partner is the most important person in this room. You know, make sure they show up. Make sure you guys are drilling. We have a different dynamic here because, you know, if you remember here, and the gate's unlocked, you can train here. You don't have to have, you know, you don't have to have anybody here. Where most gyms that I've trained at, you know, you have to have the owner or the head instructor to let you in, and they have to be there and stuff like that. We've got a different kind of way that we go about it. It's a benefit for us. And a lot of that's because we're located in Pure Fitness. So it's kind of like a little bit of double security type of deal where, you know, what's going to happen, you know.
Yeah, it's porn.
Yeah. What's going to happen, you know what I mean? On top of that. Right. But overall, get with your training partners, push that onto your people. You know what I mean? Get your management, get your coaches, get the instructors. You take it upon yourself to reach out to these people and contact them. If they're not showing up on the match, just give them a little nudge. Tell them you're thinking about them. You know what I mean? Make it a little bit more personal than just, hey, we're in the match and we're just training. I think that's always a funny thing when you're on the like when you're in the gym. It's like you'll have these great conversations and you'll have these great like moments with people and just like stuff that you just can't replicate anywhere else. And then that's where it stops. It's like, yeah, we're best friends here in the mat, right? But I don't ever see you outside the gym, or we don't ever get together. And that's one thing that we've been doing really well is keeping the Friendsgivings for Thanksgiving and doing the Jolly Roger.
Yeah, so I was going to bring up too, is that's coming up with, you know, those two annual things that happen. And then And a lot of gyms are pretty good. They throw things out there. I know. I just saw. Was it in Philly? Gracie School there. They have their barbecue they have every year. A lot of places around here do it too. You know, the barbecue thing and get everybody just a little reminder. You know, hey, we don't always have to be on the mat or in the gym necessarily.
Well, and everybody's way more attractive too. Have you noticed that? Like when you see like
I've seen people at Stellar Fights walk up. I'm like, who? I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, see, like they're way more attractive when they're outside the gym. That's kind of like the it's one thing that dudes never realize. They try to hit on a waitress or they try to hit on a gym goer, and it's like, guys, women are not in their masculine, or they're in their masculine energy right now. They're not in their, they don't feel pretty when they're, you know, sweating their asses off, running back and forth, running food, or
well, not until the end of the class when the selfies come out.
Right. Well, the selfies are always important.
So,
but yeah, that's a big thing, man. Is those just doing the extra stuff, the PR stuff, the going above and beyond for your members. And you know, I'll tie a bow on it with this. You know, we have weekly meetings. You know, we're constantly trying to improve. We talk numbers a lot. We talk SOPs a lot. You know what I mean? We talk, you know, KPIs a lot. You know, if you don't know what these terms are, standard operating procedures, just the way you do everything, and have it documented. KPIs are, you know, your key performance indicators, like our 1 a day goal, you know what I mean, is a KPI. And, you know, we talk a lot about signups and things like that. But at the end of the day, you know, it always comes back down. We're just trying to help people. You know what I mean? You have to keep that front and center. And it's hard because you can get lost in translation sometimes, you know what I mean, with, you know, all the gym dramas, or, you know, the money chase and the bills, and, you know, who quit, who stayed.
And the ones that it's like really hard to take. It's like, it just stings. It's not about getting that 1 a day, but when it's somebody that really can benefit from it, when somebody who really needs it more than somebody who just walks and goes, sign me up. I want to, you know, I want to do this. I want to do that. But you see a kid that really needs it, or, you know, a single mom, and we've got all these different scenarios, and for whatever reason, they're like, nah, they're just not there yet. It's like, man, but you need this more than anybody.
Yeah, no, we see it too.
And having that conversation, I mean, we got 10 different ways.
We got a kid right now that, you know what I mean? It's like I always struggle with, when's the cutoff point from, you know, when you have to clip the kid to
from where we can do all of this, and there's going to be benefits to, we are not qualified to handle this situation.
Yeah, you know, when do you clip the kid? You know what I mean? I had situations in the past where, you know, it's almost like, you know, the parents had brought the child to me to, you know, fix their problems. And I'm like, you know, we're just a combat sports school. We're not the savior of all things. This comes down to your child saving himself. You know what I mean? We're going to guide him. We're going to open up the doors, and we're going to support him every step of the way. But it ultimately comes down to two things. One, your child coming in and understanding they can't cuss in front of other little kids. They can't say vulgar things. They can't do things. They have to participate and understand etiquette. And then you have to get them here.
Right.
And you just sitting here and dropping them off and not being a part of this journey. I'm not talking about come to every practice. I'm talking about you can come in once a week. You can come in once every 2 weeks. Check on your kid. Watch your kid. See what's going on. Do you know how much that kid would love for their parents to watch them grapple or watch them spar? You know what I mean? So, but I've had parents in the past,
and you can see the kids looking off the mat, going, 100%. Are they here?
Yeah, and I've had people in the past that kind of bring me their kid, like, yo, you fix them, and it sucks because what's that cutoff point? You know what I mean? That, like, I cut that kid off and say, hey, look, you're no longer, you know, we want to help you, but you're just not buying in, and it's affecting the other members and the other students,
right.
and people are noticing it. To, you know, hey man, if we just get them over that hump, you know, it's going to do wonders for them. It's going to do.
Sometimes it's a tough call, and sometimes it's not.
Yeah, I know. So, and adults are no different. You know, you hit the nail on the head with that one. Adults are no different. They, you know, you could see that they need it. But the other side of it is everybody comes in with the same shit. You know, it's the same story, just unpackaged differently. You know what I mean? Hey man, things were really hard. They were really difficult. I didn't know how I was going to get through it, but somehow I got through it. You know what I mean? It's like, and here I am, you know, and it just keeps repeating with the same, with different people. But it's definitely something that, you know, I think it takes the the gym owner, it takes the coach, it takes the team, the management, you know what I mean, the front desk. It takes everybody a community effort to, you know, go above and beyond and reach out and, hey, look, where you at? Where you been? Hey, come on, get your butt in here. Let's make this happen. You know, I think that makes the world a difference. But that'll do it. That's another episode of Champ Talk with Branden Hudson. I'm glad you guys tuned in. Thank you for always listening and letting us run our mouths about some good stuff, some dumb stuff, and everything in between. And, you know, definitely, again, if you get value out of this episode or you know someone else who does, share it with them. Like and subscribe to all of our channels. And please leave us a review. That stuff really works well for us to be able to get recognized in the search engine and get pushed to the top of people's feeds. But until next time, guys, what are you doing today to become a champion?